Hi there, it's Natalie, your fitness gypsy, or as one of my friends back in Ohio calls me, her fitness pastor. And I'm here today to talk to you about courage. Now, courage isn't always the towering oak that sees the storms come and go. It's also the fragile flower that blossoms in the snow. There are moments that are so amazing in our lives and we feel like we're on top of the world. Have you ever experienced that when you just feel like you could touch the sky? And I think those moments are what we've been preparing for all of our lives, and it's why we almost effortlessly rise above the adversity, because it's when the preparation and the opportunity have met up and we're ready to match it. This is, I think, why we love the stories like David and Goliath so much, or also why we never get bored of watching the Rocky movies. We relate to the characters, we root for the underdogs, we know what they've been through, we've been privy to see what's going on behind the scenes with them, their training and how they've been smashing it out, old school style, training to take on their giant. And so when that moment of opportunity comes, when they are facing off with their giants, we know they have what it takes to defeat them. So we see ourselves in those characters, and we long for that courage to come forth in our own lives. You know, even just today, I was blessed to see the same type of courage displayed in a husband and wife. They were given the news that there might be a resurfacing of cancer, but they weren't at home hiding out, away from the world, feeling sorry for themselves. They were at church. They were encouraging everyone around them and making plans to go to the gym later. This is the courage that I'm talking about today. It's the flower that blossoms in the snow. It's a quiet but powerful courage. It's also a courage that I've seen recently in a husband that brought his wife home to die with dignity so that she could be comfortable. He put himself aside and his emotional pain that it would bring to the surface for him, and he put her first. That's courage. I've also seen this same type of courage in a friend of mine who someone told her that she was fat. But she took the high road. She put a smile on her face, and she didn't let it stop her from working on establishing a healthy lifestyle for herself. It's in these times when we can feel as fragile as a candle in the wind. We feel vulnerable, and we are afraid. We're afraid to try again, hope again, believe again, love again. And this is when we are in most need to summon the courage within us. This is the moment that has opportunity written all over it, and it should be seized. Because this is the moment when we can walk into the fire and the flames won't burn us. This is the moment of opportunity when we can walk out on the water and we can know that we can walk on top of it. These are the moments when we can come face to face with our greatest nightmare and know that we can survive. Some other powerful messages of this same type of courage has been given to us by some famous people. For example, Rosa Parks, who was told by the powers that be, "You can't sit here." And pretty much what she said to them was, "I'm not moving. I'm not going to the back of the bus." Or Drew Brees, when he had his shoulder injury and all his doubters were saying, "Oh, he'll never be the quarterback we had hoped for him to be." But he said to all his doubters, "You haven't seen the best of me yet." Or even Joel Osteen, who, when his father died and he inherited his father's ministry, said to all his critics, "God has plans to prosper me." Now, why am I saying all this to you today? It's because I want you to get a hold of this message of courage and fight for your dreams again. Not to give up on yourselves, not to give up on what you're hoping for. You know, they usually say that the moment you feel like giving up, you're this close to your miracle. Because this is when we need that courage, when we are the most afraid, when we feel our weakness, when we feel our vulnerableness, our fragileness, that we have that courage within us to move forward even when we are afraid. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the presence of fear, but it's moving forward anyway. So with all that being said, roll your shoulders back, set your face like flint, and come eye to eye with your haters and say, I'm not moving to the back of the bus. Come eye to eye with your critics and say, you haven't seen the best of me yet. And say to the powers that be, you can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me. So call on your angels today and summon your courage.